Okay, we're back. Pluggo's PLE Post-Show is back. I haven't been able to do this since Victory Road because, Ella, I've been busy.
I know you. Well, you were also live at Bound for Glory. That was like the same weekend as some other stuff going on. So, I totally get it.
I was live at Bound for Glory, and Crown Jewel was in the morning.
Yeah.
And then the last AEW show, I made my in-ring wrestling debut. I don't know if you saw that.
I did.
What'd you think?
I think we need more of Pluggo.
Okay, so we need more. I will say this, and I meant to, and I don't want to derail the show because we're here to talk Saturday Night's Main Event as we get people.
There's only 4 matches.
It's JPJ's JPJ's in the chat. Shout out to him. I was at Bound for Glory with him, but I noticed something. The promotion that I did the Royal Rumble with has another show coming up here on the 22nd of November, and the guy that I threw out of the ring, Jorge Bravo, has yet to have a match announced for said show. So I'm wondering if in some way I derailed this man's career, and he's like licking his wounds, and he's not going to. I hope that's not the case, because I mean, listen, man, I did what I had to do. But don't quit wrestling.
They're out a challenge to you, so you better buck up and start training.
I better get ready. And Gilbert's going to be at that show, so maybe Gilbert could fight him for me. I don't know. Yeah. We'll find out. But like I said, I'm happy to be back. It's Saturday Night's Main Event. I'm back with Ella J. She's here for most of these things because she's awesome. First and foremost, how are you doing, Ella? It is November 1st, by the way.
Crazy to even say that. This year has flown by. I'm honestly really tired. I started dozing off at 6 o'clock Eastern time. It was an hour before the show. I was like, I need to make it through the show tonight. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm really tired. But it was a good show overall. 2 new champs.
2 new champs. We predicted 3 new champs on beards, but we didn't quite get that done. Yeah, I can understand the tiredness, and I was at the International Motor Speedway in Michigan this morning all day, which is 2.5 hours away from me because my son was in the state finals of cross country, so I had to go up there and support him. And then I hustled back down here and hung out for a little bit, and was I'm really excited that this show was 2 hours, start to finish. And for those that maybe wonder why they went the 2-hour route, the NBA on Peacock starts at 10 tonight. They have a Mexico City game. So I'm wondering if they were like, hey, listen, we'll do the show, but you can't bleed into our NBA coverage.
It's 2 hours and 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to have a hard cutoff. I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, that's their new baby, the NBA on Peacock, because this was a Peacock exclusive. They got college football going on right now, the World Series. It's out in Salt Lake City. So for those folks, it's 7 o'clock right now.
Yeah.
They're living their best life. Easy watch. 2 sweet Kyles in the house. My man Kyle, love you, brother. He said it was a fun watch. I know JPJ was not happy about what we're going to talk about. We'll go ahead and start it off. They started with Cody. They started with Drew. The stipulation was that if Cody got counted out or disqualified, he was no longer going to be champion, which I missed that. I missed that part of it when I was looking over this stuff. I was like, oh, yeah.
It just happened yesterday, to be
honest. I know, and I must have been busy yesterday. But I'm going to pull back my notes real quick. I wrote down, they should have just called this Night of Champions. I don't know why I wrote that down.
And but plus a pre-tape from John Cena.
Plus a interesting pre-tape from John Cena, and we will get into that, and I will get your thoughts on that because I know you probably have a few. This was the typical Cody. Cody's kind of playing from behind. Drew was trying to bait him into getting disqualified the whole time. Cody got his knee. My problem here was, what are they gonna? What's the deal? When is Cody? Not that he's a bad champion, but if we're going to keep doing this to Drew McIntyre. Because Cody retained off of a DDT off of the belt that Drew introduced while the ref was down. So Cody's the champ. Again, what are we doing here, Ella?
Well, apparently, tonight was supposed to be Drew versus Jacob for the number, reportedly anyway, things could have changed. Reportedly, the original plan was Drew versus Jacob, and then whoever wins would face Cody at Survivor Series. Yeah. But obviously, Jacob reportedly has that dental stuff that he's recovering from, so he couldn't wrestle. So and Drew was gonna win that anyway. We would have had Drew and Cody apparently at Survivor Series, so they just moved it up a couple of weeks. I am just still surprised, and maybe they'll play into it at Survivor Series or something, but I am waiting on that freaking Orton heel turn because Drew took out Randy, right? And then Randy would come back for revenge. I thought Randy was going to turn on Cody at Crown Jewel and help Seth win. That obviously didn't happen. So maybe it's just in my mind, where do you go from here? I mean, that Cody Randy thing is right there, but they haven't pulled the plug on that. They haven't done anything with that. So I have no idea where Cody goes from here because I have no idea what Survivor Series is going to look like right now with Seth injured, because you would have had the Vision apparently with Brock and Austin Theory against Roman, LA, Jay, Jimmy, and a couple of other people. What's Cody going to be doing? I have no idea.
Well, and you said that they moved this match up. Now, my contention with that is you're telling me there's not another person that Drew could have at least fought here to maybe get us to Survivor Series. Instead, you kind of moved it up, and I didn't hate the match. I thought the match was better than the one they had at WrestlePalooza. Oh, yeah. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we keep sitting here and we're going, Drew, what are we doing? Cody, if we're going to do the Randy thing, let's get it going or something. Because Kyle's saying, he's saying the Cody stuff's getting a little stale. This coming from who's a big fan. I know Cody actually follows Kyle on social media, which I actually am low-key jealous about because I've heated with Cody Rhodes multiple times. That's my claim to fame. Cody won't throw me the follow. But
he's been following more and more people every week.
So maybe I'll get lucky and get the So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the match was fine. Drew did his best to try to get the DQ finish. And you know how it goes, the old trope. You're the one that introduces the belt. You're going to be the one that takes it. But now Drew has a legitimate gripe and complaint where he could be like, hey, DDT'd me on the title.
They're going to go for a three-fer.
They're going to go
Survivor Series.
They were probably going to get Drew and Cody at Survivor Series. Do you pay it off there? You're wanting Randy to get involved?
I do. I want this Orton heel turn, but if it was going to happen, it should have happened tonight to set up for Survivor Series. So I want that. I want Drew to be in this 16-person tournament to face John Cena. I know it's probably not going to happen, but we have never, ever, ever had Drew McIntyre versus John Cena one-on-one. I would love for that to be his final match. Reportedly, it's Gunther. Plans could change. So I'm still hoping out that Drew at least goes far in this tournament. And I would love to see him face Cena at next Saturday night's main event next month.
Yeah, which is crazy that they said next month because, like I said, it is November 1st. Halloween is in the rear view. Christmas is on
I still got my ghosts up right here.
Yeah, my wife is currently upstairs putting up our 8 Christmas trees.
We have our Christmas tree out already.
She's ready to rock and roll. We're ready here at the Pluggo household. She just had surgery and she's trying to move furniture, and I keep yelling at her. I kept affectionately calling her Stitches tonight. I said, Stitches, stop moving stuff. Let me do it. I'm literally just sitting here watching wrestling and taking notes. Kyle says he's holding out for Oba versus Cena. I don't think it's a bad shout that Oba would make his way into this tournament somehow. I actually think that's...
They did say NXT.
They said SmackDown, NXT, Raw, and people that might not even work here.
That probably means TNA, which...
I would imagine.
Which means it's probably going to be Joe Hendry, which I'm okay with. I think he should at least go to the semis.
But you know how the internet works. They said... people that don't work here, and our first thought is Edge.
I mean, I would love that.
Right.
I'm just trying to be realistic.
The Hive's in the house saying hello, friends. That Josh and Jamie just had a awesome watch party over on the Hive. Go check them out. Follow them. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll talk a little bit more about that. As we in the chat, if you want to tell us who you think is going to be in that tournament, because I got some thoughts too. But we have a new women's world champion, WWE Women's Champion. And it's Jade Cargill in what I was surprised was very dominant.
I'm not.
Now, I know Tiffany's knees banged up. They had the backstage segment where Aldis was like, hey, are you good? Or was that Pierce? I get them confused.
That was Aldis.
It was Aldis, yeah, because he's a SmackDown guy, but I wasn't sure. Maybe he was there, maybe he wasn't. But she's like, nope, I'm good to go. I want the match. She came out, got like a little bit of offense in, but ultimately Jade powerbombed her like 75 times. Hits her finisher, the Jaded, which I think that's what I call it. I'm blanking.
No, you're correct.
I know. I'm blanking today. I'm having a day. It's been a long day. And she's your new women's champion, which I think a lot of us had predicted. Tiffany had for over 300 days.
Mm-hmm.
Were you surprised it was in such dominant fashion, considering how much work they did to build Tiffany up over this last 11 months?
Yes, but no. It's not like she got squashed and she was 100%. She was. I think it's like a legit. Like she's been. I think legit injured, or at least minorly injured for a few weeks now. So it's not like she got like squashed when she was at 100%. I think that would be really damaging. But it's the fact that she got squashed after Jade Cargill blindsided her, where Jade Cargill is probably the most mad and fed up she's ever been, even more so than after Naomi attacked her. And 3, I think if Tiffany's going to lose, this is the way to have her lose, but also keep her a little bit protected. Cause like we said, she wasn't 100%. She was nursing, selling a knee injury. And also, this might have been their shortest match of their like trilogy, whatever you want to call it, but dare I say it was kind of the best. I think they booked Jade dominantly, and it's what they should have done. Obviously, sometimes you need squash matches, as much as I kind of am not the biggest fan of them. It helps Jade look strong, especially after her heel turn. It kind of protects Tiffany because she was selling a knee injury, and this is now the new era of Jade Cargill as a heel. So I think they did it right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was gonna reiterate what you said. I think this was better than their SummerSlam match, even though it was a few minutes short. Because both these matches were done by like 8:50. Because I was timing, or 7:50. I was like, oh wow, we're like really cooking here. One thing I did notice pre-match about this match was that Lillian didn't announce the challenger and champion like she did for the match, and then they did it for the men's matches at the end there, and I was just like, why didn't they do it for this one? It's
not like they didn't have time.
They had time. I don't know. They were like, we got to cut out the pomp and circumstance. Like, yeah, that was a little strange to me. And you said it. Is she legit hurt now? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I will say that over the last few months, she has been nursing some injuries. So maybe this is a way to like let her take some time to recover. Maybe she just, she steps away for a little bit. I don't know. Tiffany Stratton, she might show up on Friday and I'd be completely wrong here, but she has been going through some things. What do you think a Jade Cargill heel title run looks like? What are you envisioning short term, long term? Because this is different. This is new. She's finally in the top of the mountain, but she had to turn heel to do it.
I think if you want her... you can make her look strong. I think her first challenger will be somebody who can make her look strong, like maybe a Chelsea Green, who can make her look good. I think you have to pair her with people who can make her look good.
Yeah.
So that would be like a Michin, that would be like a Chelsea Green, the veterans in the ring. Again, she's still kind of green, still improving. We saw her get busted open a few weeks ago. She's still relatively green, so think you need to put her with some veterans. I don't foresee this being like a Tiffany length reign where it's like 300 days. Maybe till WrestleMania, maybe give her like a 5-month run. Bianca, God knows what's going on with Bianca. But I think I would have to imagine that this sets up Jade versus Bianca at some point at maybe WrestleMania next year, because that's something people have been talking about since Jade came over. So I would say maybe till WrestleMania, and then Bianca dethrones her. Give her some. If you're not gonna do a shakeup, give her a Chelsea Green, give her a Michin, give her a Candice LeRae. Some veterans who can make her look good.
Well, the Hive, which I'm assuming Josh said he thought the show sucked ass outside of Jade winning. And then Kyle said we love to Jade win over here. Tiffany takes some time off, comes back to heel. And Ripshot's at 74, which I think was an ode to my comment about the 70-something power bombs that Tiffany Stratton took there. Yeah, I think the Bianca thing is interesting now because I think we've been waiting for her to come back. We're not sure what the injury is or if there isn't. Maybe it was one of those where just she's got some time off type deal where you like out of sight, out of mind. But now that Jade is the champion, that chatter's going to ramp up even more because I think we've all predicted like that's a WrestleMania main event match. I think we all predicted that would be a WrestleMania match you didn't even need the title for. Yeah. Now that Jade has it. Because I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I wonder who the next person is. You could do Jade and Naomi or Nia at some point. I know Nia's still in the heel, but if you really wanted to show off Jade's power, but then like you said, I think it'd be nice for a few veterans under her belt. As a lot of people commented, like she's still green. It's like she's far better than she was at one point. I think people are just still selling her a little bit short because I don't think that match today was too bad. I actually really enjoyed it.
No, that was definitely one of her better matches. But again, a lot of it was her giving the offense, though, not so much as her taking defense. So that really only showed us, I'd say it was probably 80% offense. So that's not like I would say like a proper example of showing her work, but they absolutely made her look strong and it protected Tiffany a little bit because she had that knee injury and it was a nice transition. Now it's just she needs to continue to look dominant and look good. I think a Chelsea Green, honestly, a Chelsea Green or a Michin would be the perfect first kind of opponent for her. The
spotlight is ramped up now that she's. I had thrown this out the other day. Do you think she ends up linking up with any like a maybe not a full blown faction, but like a Chelsea Green where she's got some like. Just some people with her. Maybe she has some people fight for her. Is she gonna be one of those heel champions? It's like I'm not fighting tonight because I'm not feeling it. This.
I think she's probably not to take her finisher, but jaded from her past experience with. She was linked up with Naomi, and Naomi betrayed her and attacked her and took her out of action and took her title, her tag team championship. So I don't foresee her linking up with anybody anytime soon, unless it's like a not that she needs a bodyguard, unless it's like a bodyguard type deal where she's like paying people. Or honestly, I could see like because Chelsea Green is down a member of the Secret Service, right? I can see her paying Jay to take out somebody.
There you go.
But other than that, I think she'll probably keep this reign kind of on her own as like a lone wolf, Eye of the Storm by herself.
Cheap Pop Media is in the house. Welcome in. Thank you. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to guarantee that I read your questions or statements on the air, you can drop a super chat. Help us support all us fun creators here at Love Wrestling. There's a lot of good people here. There's also if you
the budget that he blows.
Help me pay for the budget of that. But also November 14th and 15th, Big Bad Boris' 40-hour Extreme is going down. I'm doing something with Mrs. Pluggo on that. If you want to donate to his cause, it's all for charity. There's a link right there as well. Scan the QR code. Get yourself set up. I can't believe that man is going to do a 40-hour stream. That is nuts. That's a lot of coffee. That's a lot of Red Bull. He's probably losing his mind tonight because the World Series is going on and he's a Jays fan. So it all worked out for him, Game 7. But, yeah, so do all that. Before we get into the next match, I have to ask you, I'm dating myself a little bit here. So they did the guess who's in the crowd, and I didn't know the first guy. No, I didn't even write his name down because I don't remember. I have no idea.
I knew Hinchcliffe, and I know
that was it. You didn't know who Pauly Shore was? That's what I was going to ask. You don't know who Paul? Oh,
I know Pauly D of the Jersey Shore.
No. You've never seen Encino Man or Biodome or Son-in-Law in the Army now. Oh,
never heard any of those movie names. I'm assuming they're movies.
Oh, no. In the chat. Please don't blame me for being old.
You're not that old.
Oh, man. Because I was like, I popped when I saw Pauly Shore on the screen. The Weasel in the juice? No. Oh gosh, Ella. What are we gonna do? I don't know. This show might have to just end. No, I'm just kidding. But I do know that Pauly Shore and Tony Hinchcliffe are like best friends.
Oh, are they?
It's just an interesting pairing. But yeah, Pauly Shore was
Pauly Shore is like 57. I do not know this man.
He was a comedian. His mother ran the Comedy Store in LA. Then he turned into acting, and he had like a early 90s run of just like really stupid comedy movies, but they were fun. Like Cheap Pop say, In the Army Now, absolute classic. It's just two idiots that join the army and they want to be water filtration guys because that's the easy job, and then they get sent to actual war because they're soldiers.
Oh, okay.
And it's Pauly Shore and Andy Dick.
Okay.
So a Goofy movie. Yeah, he's in a Goofy movie, the Leaning Tower of Cheesa guy. That's Pauly Shore.
Okay, I've seen the Goofy movie.
Okay, here we are. That's right. You like Disney movies, don't you? It's okay. Okay, so never mind. I was going to have a really fun conversation about Pauly Shore movies, but I should have vetted the guest beforehand. But but I digress. We had the triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship. And this is another match. I know that we talked a little off air about some stuff that didn't happen in the main event. But this is a match that I was surprised that there was no Judgment Day, no Americanos. No, because we had Dom on Monday. The Judgment Day was like, we're not helping you on Monday because of what you did to our tag titles. Him and JD were just pissed. So Dom called up the Americanos and they busted up the number one contendership match stuff. Right. So I thought for sure we would see some scenario where the Judgment Day, this was my theory, that we were going to see the Judgment Day come out and Dom was going to be like, oh, brothers, yeah. And then they were going to inadvertently like go after him, but somehow it's still Dom would come away with the win here. But an inadvertent, like we went to try to get to Dom, but we hit Rusev and it was a mess. Or the Americanos would come out and be distractive. Instead, what we got, Ella, was some of the most clever shit I've ever seen. Rusev has got Penta in that accolade, and the bell starts ringing, and everyone's confused except Rusev. He thinks he won, then we pan over, and Dom's ringing the bell to break up the count. Because it's a no disqualification match.
Yeah.
I mean, that's next level. That's greatest luchador of all time type shit. So what did you think of this triple threat match? Did you have Dom winning in your prediction?
Yeah, absolutely. I went 3-1 for the night. We'll talk about. I got the first three right. I'm not surprised that the Judgment Day weren't, at least the guys, because Finn Balor has literally told Dominic like he can do stuff on his own because Dominic like cost them or didn't step up to help them recently. So I'm not surprised at that. I am surprised though, like you said, that there was no Los Americanos thing because we had that backstage segment where Dominic was like linking up with them and looked like he was gonna have them help him again for this match tonight. But I must say, like Dominic Mysterio might be my favorite like male superstar right now. I'm not gonna lie. I have been
the pop he got tonight.
I have been really enjoying his work. Yeah, we're supposed to hate him, and it's like a lot of it's overbooked, but like just. It's like Chelsea Green, you know it's gonna be like over dramatic. The facials, they're gonna probably cheat to win, do something like crazy, but it's entertaining and you know what to expect. He has that character aspect down. His name is Dirty Dom. It's in the name. He's gonna lie.
And he just looks dirty. He looks like a guy you want to hate, but you just go, it's working. Like whatever you're like, God damn it, he's so cool. Like even when he did the Eddie spot in a no disqualification match,
there's no disqualification.
Yeah, I was just like, that is so well done. Yeah. I was like, only Dom would think about that and try that. That is so in his bag, in his pocket. I love wrestlers like. I grow attached to wrestlers that just like know their lane, like you said, like a Chelsea Green or back when Heath Slater was doing his thing when he was getting mowed down by legends. Like Like, I just love wrestlers that know their lane, stick into pocket, are okay with making fun of themselves and playing around. And Dom, on top of it, the wrestling has come around. It used to be like, oh my God, this dude can't wrestle and he has no personality. Then he started to get the personality with Rhea and Liv, and now his wrestling has picked up the pace. And he's doing these clever finishes where it's not the same song. At least this I felt was a little bit refreshing. I actually was like, really? I was like, okay. I've never seen somebody go over and ring the bell to end a match, but not end a match.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm in. Dustin's in the chat saying, when do you think we'll see Liv return? Because I mentioned on Thursday night that I have not seen any reports with a definite answer to that, but I have started to see her name pop up more and more throughout social medias. And when that happens, I start to think, okay, why are we talking about Liv a little bit more? Is there smoke here?
Well, I've just seen early 2026, so I would imagine that means the Royal Rumble.
The Rumble.
But like I don't know if she'll be cleared in time, but I guess maybe spoiler alert, again, plans can change. We're reportedly getting Dominic versus John Cena at Survivor Series, which is in Dom's hometown of San Diego, for the IC title, the only title that John Cena has not held in his career. So if Liv were to return, that would be a good place if you want Dominic to defeat Cena. If you don't, if you want to get Cena that, finally that Grand Slam champion, then keep Liv for the Royal Rumble. It just depends where she's at. I've seen videos of her like getting checked out, but I don't know how far along she is. But I would have to imagine by the Royal Rumble, because her previous shoulder injury kept her out. It was in June, like early July, and then she came back at the Royal Rumble, so it was like 6 months. So it seems like it's going to be about the same time frame.
Yeah, which why not? If you don't have any plans to like get her involved with Roxanne and all the Judgment Day stuff, wait till the Rumble. That's a great.
Although there is Survivor Series as well, because I would have to imagine that Roxanne and Raquel are probably going to be involved in something, maybe with like the Kabuki Warriors or something, that she could be a number for Survivor Series, I guess. And then that could lead off to the what's it called, the fracture, the decline of the Judgment Day,
demise, we've been praying on their downfall for
they could literally have to work together, like because Liv does not like Roxanne, but meanwhile Raquel is getting to like Roxanne, so you could have them all in one place at Survivor Series. It's just dependent on where she is recovery wise, which we don't really know.
Super random, but do you remember when they had that little fractured like moment and they were calling the one part of the Judgment Day like street trash or something?
Yeah.
Just I don't know why that just popped in my head. But you made an excellent point. The match for Dom looks like, and I'm glad that they didn't pull the trigger here, because I think Dom has earned the right to get a Cena match for that IC title, because what better person, right? John Cena going in for the title he's never held against Dominic Mysterio, who's done everything he can to keep it. Yeah. I actually, because after this match, that's where Cena made his announcement. Apparently there's a big interview coming out with Tom Rinaldi about his run here and his final match and all this. And then we talked a little earlier, they announced a 16-person tournament across Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and apparently some wild cards.
You know who the last two people that they showed in that video package was Gunther and Dominic Mysterio.
Right. I had a thought, now that we've talked about it and I sat and I kind of watched the show, what if the match with Cena, because I had initially predicted that the last match that Cena would have would be Dom, and Cena would win the world title, and then you could just do a tournament in January leading up to the Rumble for the IC title, and that could be
San Diego.
Right. But now I think Dom loses it to Cena, and maybe that tournament, you're the last opponent, you beat John Cena on his way out for the IC title. So he gets the Grand Slam. We put this really nice bow on it. I think people are soured on the Cena run at this.
But also the thing that assuming that they go that route and it is Gunther, it just again goes to that whole trope of WWE doesn't know how to book Gunther without a championship, because literally the last time we saw him, he lost the world title, and if he comes back and a week later he's champion again, it's like they don't know how to book him without a title. So it's kind of just feeding back into that again. I do agree though, if I want Cena to get that IC title,
right? That's what we want,
and I don't want him to have to just win it and the next day he vacates it. If they're gonna do it against Dominic in San Diego, a match that John Cena has literally called for, and Dominic is probably wanting it too as well, and then he defends. Oh, he wouldn't defend it, but he'd have it for like 2 weeks. Then he loses it to Gunther. Okay, I can live with that.
Right. Plus, I'm thinking about it so you would have to have him lose to Dominic Mysterio. Somehow, somebody
you would beat Dominic for the IC.
No, but I'm saying if we don't go this route, if we don't go down this fantasy booking that we just concocted here, he'd have to lose to Dom.
Lose 2 in a row.
And then we're just like, and then and then we have this up and comers tournament thing, where he's like, I want to give the shot to this is Cena's chance to, at his final run, and I know people are saying let him go out on top. I don't think he needs to. He could stamp and go, because he was very adamant about, I want to give this to somebody that I got my shot. Ruthless aggression, who took an opportunity, who earned it. Imagine the mark that they could put on whoever beats John Cena in his farewell match for the IC championship that he just won. He leaves on his back. He's gonna get a massive send off, and you just made a guy.
You know what? I've been saying I want Drew, but you know who else has history with Cena and the IC title has also alluded? Was Sheamus.
Ooh,
and Sheamus seems to be in a feud with the Judgment Day. So if he helps Cena against Dominic, maybe helps Cena win, and then we get Sheamus versus Cena. Because again, we haven't gotten that match. That was one of the first feuds that I ever saw. Was Cena and Sheamus. Sheamus has also never won the IC title. That's the only title he needs to be a Grand Slam champ.
We're booking gold here.
But also, Gunther also is not an up and comer.
No, I know.
So so I don't know. It's kind of that drawback. I would love to see that it would kind of tie both ends, but I also want Drew McIntyre because we've never had that match.
That's true. I do like the wrinkle of it being random and they haven't announced anybody yet, because then we would all go, well, that's the match right there.
Yeah, we absolutely should have Joe Hendry in this tournament, though. At least give the fans hope for it to happen. I think you should have Joe Hendry at least go to the semifinals. Fun
fact, Joe Hendry tweeted a picture of Joe Hendry right after that announcement.
Of course he did.
100%. Dustin said that should the WWE bring back the Mixed Facts Challenge? I loved it. And then he says, one of my
favorite things ever.
And I think we answered. Do we think Cena wins his final match? I don't think he would want to.
It also depends on the circumstances. If he's walking in with the IC title, no, he's losing it. If it is actually, I don't know. If it is for the IC title, and let's say the actual last match is Dominic and Cena, then I think Cena should win it.
The problem if he comes in as IC champ in his final match on December 13th, and he wins that match, you have to vacate that title and do a tournament that we we would have just did. Because that would be Cena going, why don't we put some stakes on this final tournament if he were to win? But even then, if he wins it in the end of November, this will start in 10 days. So the tournament will already be started. And he could sweeten it if he wins and goes, I'll put the title up in my final. So I don't know. There's opportunities here.
So if the IC title is on the line, then I think Cena should lose. If there's I don't know.
There's nothing on the line. Because then Cena's doing to that whoever wins the tournament that Angle did to him.
Yeah.
Which maybe that's okay, because again, John Cena made a name for himself off of a close loss to Kurt Angle, so maybe the person that he faces in this final match has a crazy showing, and then that makes that person. But if I think if it's up to Cena, I think he'd go out. I think he'd want to go out on his back and put over whoever wins that tournament, whoever it would be.
If it's Dominic and Cena, I think Cena is winning. If it's Cena and anybody else, I will say it, I think he's losing.
Yeah. But again, do we go the Dom Cena route at Survivor Series, or do we just avoid it altogether? Because that's been the rumored report.
Dominic's
that's what
going to
want.
be wrestling, and he has to be wrestling in San Diego. That's his hometown. Rey Mysterio is soon to be cleared, so I don't know. They could do something with Rey Mysterio. Okay, so we have 4 dates left. So theoretically, he could wrestle also in Boston and Madison Square Garden. I want 3 matches. Like, I feel like he has to wrestle at least once on one of those 2 Raws.
Oh, sure.
Like, Madison Square Garden, like, you need to wrestle in Madison Square Garden. Like,
he needs to wrestle in Boston. He needs to wrestle all 4. Yeah. He needs to wrestle in Boston too. I think it would be crazy if he didn't just wrestle the last 4.
You know what? I think if they're not going to have Joe Hendry like win this tournament, him and Cena like teaming together, I think would be really fun.
Against Dom and one of the Americanos.
I could also see potentially, because NXT is running the theater at Madison Square Garden. Yep. I could see Cena maybe making a surprise appearance at one of their Gold Rush dates, because they're in New York City for 2 weeks. Week. So Cena could just stay an extra day and maybe show up at NXT.
Isn't it this week and next week, or is it the following?
Oh my God, yeah, it is.
No, it's this week and next week. They're doing Gold Rush. No, it's 2 weeks, because Ava said on Tuesday that Ricky and Trick would be 2. Maybe they're the second week of Gold Rush. I don't know. That's a whole other that NXT stuff.
But NXT is going to be in MSG or New York City the day after Raw. So Cena, just stick around an extra day. Give us an appearance on NXT. Dustin. Maybe you and Joe team up or something.
Before we move on, Dustin goes with the rumors of Jericho returning. Do you think Jericho's in this tournament?
So I think they announced it right before that they're doing a Saturday Night's main event in Montreal at the end of January. Yeah. So and that's like right before the Rumble? Yeah. Or is it the week after? I think it's right.
January 22nd and 23rd and 24th, right? They're doing a Friday night SmackDown. So
I think it's the week before the Rumble. So I think that's in Canada. I could see Jericho returning there and then showing up at the Rumble potentially.
But not in the tournament to fight for the last chance to fight Cena.
That's dependent on if Tony Khan let him out of his contract early. That's totally dependent on that, because apparently he's going to be under AEW contract through the end of the year. So that's dependent on his contract situation.
See, now this is one of those things where Tony Khan, I know you're a fan, but with the Jericho thing, it's different. But with the Edge stuff, like, just let it happen.
I mean, it's possible they let William Regal out early, and maybe there's stipulations attached to it to let him out of his contract early. Maybe, I don't know.
I know I said on a podcast with Joe Pearl where he was adamant that Hangman Page would get another shot at Chris Jericho before Chris Jericho left AEW. But if you got no use for him, let him out. Let him come over and do his retirement thing. But I'm intrigued. I like the randomness of it. I like that they didn't announce a bracket. They didn't even show a bracket. They just said, you'll see, and it'll be all random, because he doesn't want to know who his final opponent is, but he knows, right?
I am sad. I just thought of this. I am sad we are getting no Kevin Owens because of his neck injury during this and his history with Cena.
Yep.
Maybe we get like an on-screen moment, but like I know you can't get everybody, obviously, but like Kevin Owens was huge, when Kevin got called up, answered that US Open challenge, that was a big
they could have got everybody if they booked it correctly.
Yeah, that's true.
But they had to go all this goofy stuff. Before we move on to the main event, how are you feeling about? Are you ready for this end of Cena's career here?
No, I was already I've been emotional for like the last month. No, I'm gonna be so sad. I'm gonna be crying like a baby. Like, the first ever wrestling shirt I got was that orange John Cena shirt in 2009, and I still have it. The first wrestling autograph I ever got was John Cena, that same event.
Oh, nice.
So, like, he's been there. He was the main event of my first ever wrestling event, which was him versus Sheamus in a tables match for the WWE Championship. So he's always like, I always have a special place in my heart for him. So yeah, I'm absolutely gonna be crying. So just don't judge me.
I've never judged you, Ella. Well, to your face. No, I'm just kidding. I've never judged you. Never. We almost died together once. That bonds us for life. Yeah, the first question I ever asked as a member of the media was to John Cena.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Nobody had a question for the guy. He just goes, "Has anybody got any questions?" And I just went, what about you and LA Knight for undefeated in the tag division?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that. But it was Chef is in the house saying, say his name and he'll appear. So he's thinking that they could go Joe Hendry, or they could make some money using Edge.
Give us a Joe Hendry and John Cena tag match.
Yeah, why not? Give us some fun. Let us have some fun on the last four. Let's not get too cute. Let's not overbook it. The Saturday night's main event in December is going to be a spectacle. There's going to be everybody and their mother's going to be there. It's going to be bonkers. But like these last, just let us have fun and go out cheering Cena. Don't get cute with like who he should get beat. Just let him win and everybody go home happy. Speaking of going home happy, we're at the main event. This was a quick show. This was insanely fast. It's the vacant championship, the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey Uso versus CM Punk. CM Punk wins. I don't know how I felt about this match, though, because it was very slow.
I know.
The beginning of this match, the first 5 minutes, which they were playing it up on commentary like, oh, they're trying to feel each other out. Nobody wants to make a mistake early. But it was like, it felt like they were buying time to get the stuff that we thought was going to happen, and it didn't. Now, I don't say the match overall was bad. I really enjoyed the back and forth. I really enjoyed Jay hitting the GTS and then then going for the spear, but then Punk hits the spear, and then Jay tries to choke him out the way he choked out Gunther at Mania, and then Punk with the Anaconda. Like, it picked up at the end, but I think everybody was sitting there going, when's that shoe going to drop? When is Bronson and Braun showing up? When's Paul Heyman showing up? Hell, after CM Punk, Ella won the championship. I
thought he was going to get ambushed.
And the graphic hit the screen. I'm standing in my living room either waiting for Seth Rollins' music to hit or somebody to come out and beat him up. And they did nothing.
No interference the whole night. I think that was the most shocking part. There was no interference at all. Going into this, I was like, oh, we're either getting no contest or just CM Punk is winning, because Jey Uso wasn't even supposed to be part of this event originally. I was fully expecting. I'm like, it's like 9:55. I'm like, the bronze. It's about time, or 8:55. Like, the bronze. It's about time. Like, where are you guys? No Paul Heyman, no Bronson Reed, no Braun Breaker, like no Brock Lesnar, like nobody. That was the most surprising element for me. I do agree, like the first like 70% of the match was really, really like slow. And I'm like, oh, this needs to pick up a little bit. And then the last 5 minutes where they were finally getting somewhere, where they were hitting each other's moves and also countering and doing a bunch of false finishes. And CM Punk beat Jay clean. Which is like, that was like, if there was going to be no interference, I expected like Punk to win. But I'm like, oh, this is just straight up like clean. Like, it was a little bit like underwhelming. We could just set our I can't even say we're setting our expectations, because for like 8 weeks straight at the end of Raw, we had disqualification after disqualification. So we all expect them to have some sort of interference. And of course, like the one time where it actually makes sense for Los Americanos to interfere in the IC title, or the Brawns to interfere where we're expecting it, it doesn't happen. Where we would have been like maybe okay with it, It doesn't happen.
But then Ella, all the internet ICW trolls are going to be like, you guys set your expectations too high. Yeah. No, I did not. Yeah. I've watched the product for the last year. That is how they finish every episode of Raw. And then we get to the PLE, the big, it's supposed to be, and they don't do any of it. And they're like, hey, you guys set your expectations too high. No, I was just shocked you didn't do the same thing that you always do. If anything, you guys went. I don't know. I wasn't mad about. I was just like, this is weird. Like, why not?
The funny part too is Punk's probably not even going to defend that title at Survivor Series because you have War Games. And he'll probably be involved in that against Braun and Bronson in some form. So he's probably not even going to defend it. He might defend it in maybe MSG, but he's probably not even going to defend it at Survivor Series. I am like Braun and Bronson, that's their whole thing. I was shocked, first of all, that they didn't get involved in that Battle Royal at all. Yeah. And then they didn't get involved here. It's like, who are you guys? Right. You'll get involved in everything Fernando? Else. Except when it matters most, Like what?
Fernando says, "Sorry." It's like, you're fine, Fernando. Well, that's what I said. I said the other day. I was like, okay, so Monday, you guys didn't get involved in the Battle Royal. Paul Heyman did a pretty good job of explaining it, but still, at least he explained it. I was happy that he at least goes, now there's not. But that's the thing. That's what he said again. It's not me setting my expectations too high. It's me watching your show and you telling me, Paul Heyman, that Braun, why go get involved with 20 people when we could just let those 20 people kill each other, whittle it down to one guy. There's only one guy left, and he was like, LA Knight sees the same vision that we see, so if we eliminate him, there's one guy on Saturday that is in our way, and you didn't even come out at the ramp and stare him down and at least continue to make that a decision. It's weird the way that they have handled this. I know Seth getting injured threw a bunch of wrenches into a bunch of plans, and then the way Braun just gave the title back, even though Paul's do it, and he's just like, here you go. I actually would have been okay if they came out and completely destroyed this main event and we didn't get a winner here, and then we're like, oh, interesting. But they played it safe. They went with Punk. I don't know what you do with Punk here. I thought the more intrigue was on the Jey side because he's got the Jimmy stuff. Jimmy didn't show up either. We're talking about Jimmy didn't show up, and he was...
The only person who cheated tonight was Cody
Rhodes!
Dominic, it was legal. So that's not even really cheating. Not cheating in a DQ. The only person who cheated tonight was Cody Rhodes, which is crazy.
and even commentary had to be like, well, technically, I don't think Cody saw the belt. Damn well he saw that belt because he looked at it and he hit him with it, and which is fine. It's a new wrinkle to Cody, but overall, and I was just like, all right, it took 2 GTSs to beat Jey Uso.
I hope Jey uses this and is so pent up that he finally just has a full breakdown and turns heel. I feel like he's not going to win the title. He's kind of stuck in limbo. Use this as fuel for a heel turn or something. I think that's more interesting than him continuing to go after the title, because then that sets up dissension between him and Roman Reigns, him and Jimmy Uso, him and CM Punk, everybody pretty much. I would like to see them pull the trigger on a Jey Uso heel turn after this, personally.
Fernando says LA Knight should have been in the match instead of Jey. Yeah, we could talk ad nauseum about how they just continue to play it safe in these moments and go instead of giving a shot to somebody else. I don't know. That's for you guys to figure out. I thought we went with Jey and Punk, and I'm not mad at the outcome. I think Punk was the right decision, but give me something to go, okay, why did I just invest 2 hours on a Saturday night here? This was dubbed as a PLE. It's dubbed as a big deal. At least give me some kind of reason to tune in Monday night. That's kind of where I'm confused with what they're doing overall right now. It's you're playing it super safe. It seems and I'm not saying the wrestling's bad or the show's terrible, but it's what happened tonight makes me go, I gotta tune in Monday night.
No, like there was no inkling of Braun and Bronson when Braun Breaker has literally made it so clear that his eye is on that world title. And it's within their nature where it would make sense for them to attack Punk after he wins, because then it's just Punk by himself.
And why didn't we get a moment backstage where Drew was just irate over what just happened? Aldis was there. We saw him with Tiffany, like, and then Drew going, well, guess what? Friday night, I'm taking over. Something.
None of this is even going to really matter because now we're going to be pivoting to the forced people aligning with each other for War Games.
The Cody Rhodes
so it's not even going to really matter at this point.
And then there's going to be that, we're enemies, but now we're friends because I don't like that guy too. And then we're going to turn on each other. Yeah, it's going to be, War Games is going to be interesting because there's a lot of key players out. But as I always like to do as we get close to the end of the show, LJ, I'm going to ask you, who was your MVP of the evening?
Honestly, probably Jade Cargill. This was one of her best showings, and it was just her demolishing Tiffany. Like, this is what we have been needing from a Jade Cargill, and it was a good start, especially for a heel run, just have her absolutely obliterate Tiffany Stratton, while also protecting Tiffany a little bit because she had that knee injury. But now it's going to be up to her to prove that she is a believable and a champion that we can invest in. I would say Jade Cargill, also Jade and probably Dominic, but I always like Dominic.
Yeah, co-MVPs.
Yeah.
I was going to go Dom if you didn't mention it, just to go off of, because I don't like to say the same thing. But yeah, Dirty Dom. Those were the best matches in my opinion. Like I said, I didn't hate the main event. I just felt like it was slow. And then Drew
and 5 minutes was good, but
Drew and Cody was fine, but it wasn't anything like out of the realm of like what we'd seen before. And there's just something to me about the whole, like, I thought Drew played up, which is part of his character. Drew played up the whole like get disqualified thing. Like, you're 6'5", 285 pounds, the real American dream, as you made Lillian Garcia say. He doesn't need to get disqualified. You could just kick his ass. But Fernando he said Drew's his MVP. So, I mean, hey. But that means that we are officially on to, I don't know what, there's a AAA show tomorrow, but I don't know if that's televised anywhere because Chelsea Green and Ethan Page,
for the mixed tag titles.
They're going for the mixed tag title. I don't know when the next Pluggo's PLE Post-Show will be. Maybe it is Survivor Series. That could be, because we're in the month of November. Spooky season is officially behind us. It's daylight savings time, so we get Not only did we get a short show today, we get an extra hour of sleep tonight.
That's right.
So I'm super excited about that. But Ella J, as always, it's an absolute pleasure to have you hanging out with me. Go ahead and tell all the people what you got going on, where they can find you. You're a busy, busy person.
But nah. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky at It's LJ, like it says below down there. You can find all my links to my podcast, projects, and writing all in my links in my bio on my social media. I had a recent interview with Lily La Pedescasita, with Ruiz, and she is an amazing talent. You saw her at TNA Victory Road in that battle royal. To determine the number one contender for the Knockouts champion. She faced also Deonna Purrazzo. We talk about that and a whole lot of other things. Me and Pluggo are maybe linking up again soon. We'll see. It's always a pleasure to be on here.
Are we?
Thank you. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe Survivor Series. I'm available.
You always know. You always know you're my first call most of the time, unless you're big time at me.
Yeah. So thank you again. This was an overall. It was a good show, not the best.
Yeah.
But there was definitely the second and the third matches definitely were good, and now we're excited to see who's going to be in this tournament for John Cena.
Yeah. At least they gave us that.
Yeah. The road to Survivor Series begins.
Yeah. And I am more than happy with a 2-hour show that ends at 9:00. Like I said, maybe a little bit more here and there they could have done with it. But overall, I had a good time. I was pleasantly surprised. Mrs. Pluggo kept giving me looks as I was getting into matches and stuff, and she also kept telling me like, "I'm gonna do a shot," which she doesn't have any alcohol and she's got surgery, but she was being kind of a jerk. She was like, "I'm gonna do a shot every time you tell me how quick this show's going," and I was like, "I'm surprised I'm not gonna be up until midnight watching wrestling tonight." Right. It's great. But I am Pluggo. You can find me on all the social media platforms. You search Pluggo, you'll see this face. You can see me every Thursday night with JPJ on Between Two Beards. Go to @B2Beards on all social medias to figure out what's going on here. That'll be on this very channel here. And then every weekend, if we're available, I didn't do anything this morning because I was busy. But with Blair Pacheco for Exposure, we talk about the world of independent wrestling. And also, I make college football picks for the Hive. So check those videos out across all their social medias. And any of the writings that I have currently up are up right now on lovewrestling.ca. But we did it. We're on the road to the next PLE, whether that be AEW, TNA, Full Gear's coming up, or Survivor Series. So until next time, we will see you later. Peace.